The small diner was quiet, except for the soft jingling of the doorbell as two police officers walked inside. Their boots made heavy thuds on the black and white tiled floor. Everyone in the diner turned to look at the lone black man sitting in the corner. His worn jacket barely hid the tattoo of an American flag on his left arm. He stared down at his cup of cold coffee, keeping to himself. One officer smirked and nudged his partner, whispering, "Looks like we found ourselves a squatter." His hand rested near his holster, ready for trouble. The man didn't react. He stayed calm, as if he had been through worse. The tension in the room grew thicker. Everyone waited to see what would happen next. No one expected the quiet man to have the power to turn the whole situation upside down. Malik didn't flinch when the officers got closer. Instead, he slowly picked up his phone and dialed a number. His voice was calm as he spoke. "You're making a mistake." The cops laughed, thinking he was bluffing. But Malik wasn't scared. He knew something they didn't. The officers kept smirking. Sure, they had all the power. But Malik stayed still, staring right at them without a hint of fear. The silence in the diner was heavy. Everyone watched, wondering what would happen next. Malik's phone call wasn't just any call, it was a warning. In less than a day, those officers would regret ever walking through that diner's door. And the quiet man, sitting alone with his cold coffee, held all the cards. Malik Carter was no ordinary man. He had spent years serving his country, fighting in Afghanistan not once, but twice. After that, he joined a secret group of soldiers called Black Ops, where he faced dangers most people couldn't imagine. But when Malik returned home, the battle didn't end. Instead of being thanked, he was left forgotten and alone. The government discharged him, but gave him nothing more than papers and empty promises. In Virginia, he found himself lost in a maze of red tape, unable to get the help he needed. Without a home, despite everything, he never lost his pride. There were secrets in his past, secrets powerful enough to ruin men who thought they were untouchable. Even as he looked worn and tired, Malik held a strength inside him that no one could see. He was a soldier with a mission, and no matter what, he wasn't done fighting. The cops weren't ready to let Malik sit quietly. One of them leaned over, his voice dripping with fake politeness. "You got any ID, sir?" he asked, looking down at Malik like he was a problem to be solved. Malik sighed. He'd been through this before, and he knew how it went. "Just finishing my coffee, officers," he said calmly. But the officers weren't convinced. "We've had complaints," the other cop said, stepping closer. "Homeless people causing trouble." Suddenly, one of the officers grabbed Malik's shoulder, trying to push him up. "Time to go." Malik's jaw tightened. He wasn't going anywhere without a fight. He slid his phone across the table and warned, "Last chance." The cops laughed. Sure, they were in control. "Or what? You gonna call your homeless buddies?" One sneered. Malik pressed send without hesitation. The room held its breath. This wasn't just a phone call. It was the moment everything was about to change. The phone rang once, and a deep voice answered right away. "Carter, you there?" Malik kept his eyes on the cops as he spoke quietly. "I need a favor, General." At that moment, the diner's TV flickered to a breaking news bulletin. The screen showed a serious announcement. The Pentagon was starting an investigation into police misconduct. They said some officers were spying on people with high-level security clearances without permission. The cops' radios suddenly crackled with urgent messages. "All units, stand down on Carter." "I repeat, stand down." Malik leaned back, a small smile crossing his face. "Told you it was a mistake," he said softly. The officer closest to him showed a flash of panic, but then his face turned red with anger. "You think one call will change anything?" he growled, reaching for his handcuffs. Malik's voice dropped to a whisper. "That call was just a warning. The next one will be your obituary." Suddenly, sirens blared outside. Federal agents in suits stormed through the diner's door. The officers were about to learn a hard lesson. The diner's door slammed open, and a group of men in suits poured inside. Their badges gleamed in the bright morning light. "Officers, you're relieved of duty." "Effective immediately," one of the agents announced firmly. Malik stood up slowly, stepping into the sunlight that poured through the windows. This time, the handcuffs were not on his wrists, they were on the cops. Malik felt the weight of the moment, hearing the voice of the general over the phone. "You coming home, soldier?" the voice asked softly. Malik looked down at the tattoo on his left arm, the American flag he had risked his life for. Then he glanced at the news vans outside, crowds gathering at the police station. "Not yet, sir," Malik said quietly. "There's still work to be done." And with that, Malik disappeared into the city streets. Another ghost from the battlefield, but this time with a score to settle and a mission far from over. If this story touched you, please hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below. Malik Carter's story is one of strength, courage, and standing up when no one else will. He showed that even when you feel forgotten and alone, one person can make a huge difference. Sometimes, the quietest people hold the most power. Malik didn't just survive, he fought back and won. Remember, every hero has a story, and sometimes the greatest battles happen far from the battlefield. So, if you want to hear more stories like Malik's, stick around and don't forget to subscribe. Your support means everything and helps bring more true stories of bravery to light. Thanks for watching, and remember, never underestimate the power of one call.